All right, welcome back to our pregame show. Todd Morris with you here on the Bulldog Radio Network, and it's time to sit down with UMS-Wright head football coach Terry Curtis for our weekly pregame interview. And Coach, a 34-14 victory last week over T.R. Miller. We improved to 2-0 in the season, and just like I thought, my pregame prognosis last week was right on. I was thinking it was going to be a low-scoring, ball control, possessions, and man, was I wrong. I mean, it was just a totally different ball game than I expected it to be.
Well, I do think we were better. Blocking, our tackling. We had some other guys besides Cole make some plays. That was good to see. Matthew Hedge had a couple catches. Joe Lott had a couple good runs.
Jake ran the ball.
Jake got a lot more carries. Bo Wills. So we're starting to get more people making a few plays. Now Cole was Cole, but it's good to have some guys around him making some plays.
Yeah. But the final score being 34-14, I'm not going to say it surprises me because it's a high school game, but we had like 12 possessions in the game. I mean, that just surprised me. Our defense, I thought, played really, really well. Kept really T.R. Miller out of any flow that they got last year when we went up there running the football.
Well, exactly. And unlike St. Paul's, one of our biggest problems was getting off on third downs.
Right.
I mean, they had a 3rd and 13, a 3rd and 11, and 9. You got to get those stops to give you more. I think last week we had 6 possessions the whole game. This week have 12.
Yeah.
So you can get a flow. You can get something going and kind of look and see what's happening. So it really helps the offense.
Last week in the pregame show, you talked about wanting to see a little better play from the secondary, from the back end. Did you see that this week, even though T.R. Miller came into the game, we thought running ball, but they threw the ball a little bit more than I thought.
Well, because they couldn't run it.
Yeah.
But that's a point of emphasis. We've got to get better on the back end.
Yeah.
And we've made some changes this week. You're going to see Joe Lott playing a little more safety. Hayden Nagy a little more at corner. Just moving some guys around to see if that will help us be a little bit better on the back end. I think the boy he's not even a very good thrower and was 14 out of 17 or something like that.
All right, so we're 2 games into the season, 2-0, like I said. Are you happy with the quarterback position where Sutton is at this point in the season?
Sutton's getting a little better other than a big fumble deep in their territory last week.
Yeah.
With him pulling out too quick. He's managing the game well, starting to make some good throws, and as we go along, he's going to have to make a few more plays.
Right, and that's he hadn't thrown a touchdown pass yet. That's what I was wondering where you were.
Well, we've kind of been, when we've gotten down there, we've been able to run it in.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some tougher ones down the road where we're going to have to throw a little bit more.
You said you've already mentioned it. Cole Blaylock, senior running back, was himself last week, over 200 yards rushing. But how did you feel up front we did compared to game 1 this past week against T.R. Miller?
Much better.
Yeah.
I thought Hayden Brill was a lot better than he was week 1. Charlie Watts, Liston Peterson, they're giving us all they got.
Yep.
And being the new guys, Jack Otts, much better.
Yep.
And, Drew Crane, he's Drew Crane. He just, he's got to get the calls down a little bit better, but he's still kind of the leader of that offensive line.
Biggest issue I thought we had last week was kickoffs. What in the world? We couldn't get a kickoff in play last week. What in the world was going on?
I figured that's what you were going to start with. But I think we had 4 different people kick.
We did,
and every one of them kicked one out of bounds. And it just helps when you can kick from a hash and condense the field.
Yeah.
We end up having to get right in the middle and just keep it in play.
Yeah.
So our starting kicker the first week was out. We brought a new guy on this week too. So now we've got 5 kickers.
So we're going to be like Lane Tiffin said the other day when they got their punter off the frat house on the street.
We're close.
We're trying to find a kicker somewhere.
We're close. So,
all right. Well, tonight we face an 0-2 LaFleur team. Our first region game, like we've been saying, 8 in a row coming up. Again, as a former coach, and I don't like to say obviously we should win this game because it's high school kids. You never know what's going to happen. But what are you telling the kids tonight and getting ready for this game, LaFleur, who hasn't scored a point yet this year?
Well, we've got to get better.
Yeah.
Next 2 weeks going to be big, and we can't go out there and slop around tonight and not get any better going into Gulf Shores and Vigor the next 2 weeks. And you know, Todd, when you slop around, that's when people get hurt. There's a lot of things happen that would not happen if they were playing full speed.
So we were able to get the game moved to Cooper Stadium this week, and I guess we have some people to thank for that. You, obviously, and LaFleur for agreeing to it. Tell us how that all worked out.
Well, we were going to have to go to Mary Montgomery. They were going to have to get gatekeepers, PA announcers, line the field, and he said he just didn't have the people to do it. Yeah. So, you know, we got them to come here this year, and we'll be home for the next 2 years.
Yeah. Okay. So we're the home team or the visiting team?
We'll probably be the visiting team, only in the coin flip.
Okay. I got you. Even in jerseys?
Jerseys. They want to wear white.
Okay.
They got some new ones.
All right. So, yeah, you mentioned it this week, game tonight, 2 weeks coming up now. 3 real important weeks, I think, for us as we get into region play here.
No doubt. That Vigor's going to be around. Looks like Gulf Shores going to be around.
Yep.
So we've got to get ready for those 2 games. Then we get a break. Yeah,
it's a big September for us.
Oh, yeah.
Early in the season, and it sounds like you're treating it that way. I think the kids are probably viewing it
well,
that
they
way.
are. We've had a good week's practice, and hopefully we'll carry it over to the game. You can't fool kids.
No,
they know who we're playing. They know that we should win,
yep.
that they're struggling a little bit right now. But they do have athletes.
Yeah.
And so we've got to be on top of our game.
All right. All right, Coach. Again, thanks for joining us for the pregame show. We always look forward to hearing from you every week. Good luck tonight.
Thanks.
All right, we step into 5A Region 1 action tonight here at Cooper Stadium. The 2-0 UMS-Wright Bulldogs against the 0-2 LaFleur Rattlers coming up in just a minute, so stick around. We'll be back with the opening kickoff right here on the Bulldog Radio Network Sports Talk, 99.5 Mobile and iHeart Radio station.